Hello, we are so excited that the Eversource Hartford Marathon is less than 25 days away, which is shocking, but we are so happy to have Scott Sullivan here today, who has been fundraising for 17 years. We're thrilled. We have raised $26,000 so far for our clients that are in crisis, and we have a little over 40 runners. So our objective is to raise $75,000 and have 100 runners and walkers. So we're thrilled to have Scott Sullivan, who has been fundraising for 17 years. I want to have him tell you a little bit about his story, because I think it's so compelling. One of the things that we talk about all the time when we're fundraising for our clients is that everybody can make a difference, and Scott has made such a tremendous difference for the organizations that he supported. So, Scott, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I started raising funds back in 2002. So my stepmother was diagnosed with cancer then, and as many of us know, when someone gets affected by a health crisis, you obviously want to do things to help and support them, but it can also leave you feeling like there's nothing you can do to make a difference. And so that's how I felt, pretty quickly, and decided to get involved. But how I've done it is really, it's just about thinking about my why. And so for me, my why was my stepmother who was diagnosed. And what could I do to give back to the community and help her in some way, honor her in some way. So I just created a process for myself, that is pretty simple. It's a handful of steps, to do, but it allowed me really to set a goal for myself, set a structure for myself, and attain the goal. Yeah, so for me, I've created over time kind of a list of folks who, I would ask to contribute. And when you look at friends, family, coworkers, and what have you, you have a sense of, what levels these folks can contribute. And it really allows you to just set, a goal that you think is attainable. And with all the money I've raised, the first thing I'll say is it is very hard for me to ask for money.
I think that's so funny because you've raised so much, but it's normal, right? It's natural.
It's natural. And that's what I want to point out to folks, because as people start to think about doing this, they say, oh, I don't want to ask my friends or my coworkers. And what I found out over time, and not until the last couple of years, is people you ask to contribute want to contribute. And the reason that is they say to me, I don't do stuff in the community. I don't have time for it. I have my family, what have you. You're giving me an opportunity to contribute in a meaningful way to help. Yeah, so how I made my list initially was I thought about who was important to me. I thought about who I felt I was important to. And then, that, allowed me to make that list, with confidence that it was people who I know would support me and know I would support them in return.
One of the things that I find when I'm fundraising is I've switched it from I'm asking another person for another thing to I'm giving people the opportunity to be a part of something that will give them so much pride. And I think when I switch it in my mind like that, it's so much easier. It's like I want to invite them into our community. I want to give them opportunity to feel good about themselves. I want to give them an opportunity to make an impact that they might not already do, which is what you were saying before.
It's determining a time frame. So what I've learned in the past, I've done fundraising over an extended period of time, and I found that my ability to be successful was diminished by the length of time I was doing it. So people see the message a few times, and it just gets away from them. So I went to a process of for myself narrowing it down to 1 week,
which I think is insane and so impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, narrow it down to 1 week, so I'm not asking folks over and over again and using social media. So I literally start on a Monday night. I spend, for myself, I spend 3 hours a night, Monday through Thursday, and just at that time, I stay at my office at work. That way there's no distractions, no pets, no life. It's just me accomplishing something that one could see as a task, but I'm very passionate about it. So to me, I see it as like something I enjoy doing once a year. It comes down to really how you're going to ask. ask. And,
Okay.
that's, you know who your friends are, family are, your business associates, how they'd like to be contacted. The most important thing for me is I contact every single person individually.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think that may seem daunting to folks, but it's literally 3 to 5 minutes, per contact, and I just make it very personal. So I found by sending out a blanket email to folks, a lot of times you don't hear back, and again, you're asking people that are important to you, and you're important to. So they want to be asked directly. They want to hear from you. Ask for donations. So the time comes to ask, and really, it's important to set some time out for yourself, to do it. I know we can tend to do things on the fly and what have you, but this is something that can be done in a very short amount of time. And you also understand how people want to hear from you. So the people on your contact list that text you all the time, folks who email you and what have you. And I do a lot of calling too, so I also use it as an opportunity to connect with people I haven't talked to in a while. So, and just for a few minutes saying, this is.
Any parting words of wisdom?
I don't know about wisdom, but I would say, I believe so much in this mission. I think the people in the community who are viewing this do as well. I think if there is 75 of us, which it sounds like there will be, if we're all able to raise $1,000, I believe that's something that all of you guys can do. I think people on the other end of this might be feeling a little something like this, but what it comes down to is ask 10 people for $100, 20 people for $50, 50 people for $25. So, and set the goal, at the 1,000. Again, raising 100 is, what it costs, I think, to get a shirt and what have you. And a lot of organizations do that, and that helps too. There's no pressure for people, to do this. I wanted to share this for folks who really wanted to give this a shot, get outside their comfort zone, and help this community hit the goal.
Wow. We are so appreciative. So we've got 24 days to raise an additional $50,000. So you heard Scott. If we could all, buckle in here and follow your process, which is so simple now. I'm actually excited to do it. I can't wait to make my list and see what happens. And we've got people that are willing to help. So Scott will share his contact information. We're sending out a form tomorrow so you can make this simple. And if you get stuck with your CrowdRise account, we have someone on our team too that's more than willing to help. So thank you all for tuning in. I thought this was really fun. I'm so grateful to you.
Oh yeah, no, this was great. I really appreciate this. Is another way that I can give back to the community. So I'm the only thing I'm ashamed of is my process is so simple. Everyone used to think I wore a cape and was a superhero, and now it's like, that's all he does? Yeah. So, but anybody can do this. It's very easy. For my part, I really want to support anybody who wants to reach out to me, so please do.
Well, you're a superhero to us.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
All right, thanks for having me.
Okay.